up, Kit Kats? I'm Kat, and welcome back to my channel. In Kingdom Hearts, Sokai is the ship that is often seen as being in line to be crowned canon. Some even believing that as of Kingdom Hearts 3, it already is canon. Of course, the series is still ongoing, so Sokai being an endgame romance has yet to be determined. Right now, it's all just up to speculation and your own interpretation. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Sokai, at least not as a romantic pair. And no, it's not because I'm a delusional Soriku shipper. In my opinion, when you look at Kingdom Hearts through the perspective that Sokai is set to be an endgame romance, you start to realize just how underdeveloped this ship really is. To the point that even many people that ship Sokai will talk about how badly handled it is, which honestly says a lot. Kingdom Hearts 1 is the game that, in my opinion, Sokai works the best in. It's very much the knight saves the princess, and then at the end they're separated, and I mean, who can forget the iconic Kingdom Hearts 1 ending?
Kairi! Sora! Kairi! Remember what you said before? I'm always with you too. I'll come back to you. I promise. I know you will.
Going solely based off Kingdom Hearts 1, if you told me that Sokai was intended to be romantic, I could definitely buy it. To be honest though, if Kingdom Hearts had ended at Kingdom Hearts 2, I could buy a Sokai romantic ending. Would I think that it was the best written romance of all time? No, but it would at least be passable. It's really everything after Kingdom Hearts 2 where things really start to fall flat for me. And although I can definitely see why some people look at Kingdom Hearts 3 and Remind and see the moments between Sokai as romantic, to me, it doesn't read that way. So for today's video, I want to talk about ways that I feel the previous games could have built up a more convincing romance, as well as theorize ways that they could redirect in the future if Sokai is truly the endgame romance that many people believe it to be. Kingdom Hearts 1, as I said before, works the best when it comes to a Sokai romance. So obviously, I'm not going to talk about that game. Chain of Memories and 358 over 2 days, we're going to leave alone as well, simply because Kairi is not present for these games, and also because I do feel there are some arguments that you could make when it comes to these games that could perhaps go against Sokai. But for the sake of this video, we're going to take things at face value, and we're not going to dig any deeper than that. We're going to go with the Chain of Memories saying that Kairi is Sora's most important person, and we're going to move on. Kingdom Hearts 2 is fine, but if we're trying to go for a Sokai romance, there is one big moment that I gotta tweak, and that is Sora and Kairi's reunion. It's just awkward and kind of flat.
You are different, Kairi, but I'm just glad you're here.
You and Riku never came home, so I came looking for you.
I'm sorry.
This is real.
Only for it to be followed by Sora dropping to his knees and sobbing when he's reunited with Riku, further highlighting the difference in reaction. Obviously, he'd been searching for Riku since the very end of Kingdom Hearts 1, versus Kairi, who he'd believed to be safe at home on the islands until very recently when he learns that she's been kidnapped. So it makes sense that Riku is the one that would get the bigger and more emotional reaction. But I still believe there could have been a more emotional reaction to Kairi. He could have even been the one to initiate the hug, because as is, there are other ways that you can interpret this scene. I feel like something a little bit more emotional, him initiating the hug, would have read more as a romantic moment between the two, or at least like hinted at them having feelings for each other. Other than that, Kingdom Hearts 2 is fine. I love the ending where Kairi brings Sora and Riku back with her letter. That is honestly such a beautiful moment. And also when Sora returns Kairi's Lucky Charm. Coded and Dream Drop Distance are two games that could have included Kairi in some way and chose not to. Coded is even about the events of Kingdom Hearts 1, the game that Kairi as a Princess of Heart has a huge role in. And she's just not there. She's mentioned, but she doesn't play a big role. And apparently they even intended to include her, but decided to cut it. Dream Drop Distance, on the other hand, is more so focused on Sora and Riku and them taking their Mark of Mastery exam. So it makes total sense that Kairi wouldn't play as big of a role at this point. But I still think there are ways that she could have been included that wouldn't detract from Sora and Riku and their story. It's revealed in Kingdom Hearts 2 that Kairi can fight with a Keyblade, and in Kingdom Hearts 3, she's training to wield it so that she can fight as one of the 7 lights. Instead of her staying at home during this story, Kairi could have come along as moral support. This, of course, opening up the possibility for Sora and Kairi to have some moments together that would hint at romantic feelings between them. When everything goes wrong towards the end of the game, Kairi gets involved. And this, of course, would set up her arc to train as a Keyblade wielder alongside Axel. Kingdom Hearts 3 is where my interpretation really starts to go in a different direction that does not end in a Sokai true love romance. There are definitely moments in the game that could definitely have built into something more for Sora and Kairi, but as is, in my personal opinion, those moments just feel like fan service for the people that do ship Sokai, and nothing truly concrete that really confirms anything. To start off, Sora just needs to mention Kairi more, because he really doesn't. And this is, of course, paralleled with Kairi, who is shown to be thinking about him a lot. During her downtime, she writes letters to him that, of course, she says she does not intend to send.
A letter?
Yep.
To Sora?
Technically, yes. But I won't send it. It's more for me.
Ask Merlin. He'll deliver it for you.
Yeah, but it's okay. I just like talking to Sora, even if it's on paper.
This, of course, making it pretty clear how Kairi feels. But we don't get to see how Sora feels. And you could definitely have him, even being like, I wonder how Kairi's training is going. We should call Kairi, see how she's doing. Wow, this random thing reminds me of Kairi. And I do understand that he's focused on other things at the time, but considering there are moments where he thinks about Riku, we could see him thinking about Kairi as well, and this would definitely hint at him having some sort of a crush on her. Later in the game, when they share the Paopu fruit, making that cave drawing come to life, he's still taken aback at first, but it's not in a way that leaves any room for interpretation. Maybe we see him blush a little bit to show that it's clear that he's flustered because he has a crush on her. It's Remind, where Sora finally admits that he understands what love is now. This, of course, calling back to the moments in the Pirates of the Caribbean world where he said that he still had a lot to learn about love, as well as his story in the character files where he talks about not understanding what romantic love is.
I remember watching Belle and Beast dance, and seeing them happy made us happy too. Even that world, which always felt kinda gloomy, was covered in a gentle light back then. Cogsworth said, if the master can love and be loved in return, the spell will be broken. But what the heck is true love anyway? what even is love to begin with? I don't really know why I'm thinking about this so much, but... Huh? I'm not sure if I heard this from someone somewhere, but I get that Beast and Belle love each other. In the end, though, I still don't get what love is. I'm almost positive someone explained it to me once as a special power that only people have. But who was that? When I first met Beast, he said this: I simply believed, nothing more to it. I believed in what he said, and because of that, I was able to fight. If the power to believe is also love, then maybe the power of love is similar to the power of connections between hearts. I still don't really get it, though.
Sora is a character that has a lot of things that he needs to deal with, but is pushed aside because he's focused on saving the world. It makes sense that romantic love is something that he hasn't really been able to sit down and think about or fully understand. But if Sokai is intended to be romantic, then him saving her and almost losing her could be that catalyst for him to understand romantic love and that he is in love with her. Melody of Memory isn't super story focused, but we do get a lead in to the next arc. Kairi is gonna stay back and train with Aqua while Riku goes to Quadratum to save Sora.
I want to go.
Kairi, that's not...
Yeah, I know. I want to go with you. But I know that I can't. I need to finish training. I need to become stronger. And when I do, I'll be right there next to you and Sora.
In my opinion, if we're continuing the thread of a Sokai romance, Kairi should have gone with Riku. In this game, at least in the Japanese version, Kairi expresses feelings of guilt at Sora's disappearance. So she could express this when demanding to go with Riku. Obviously, I am totally biased to my interpretation of Kingdom Hearts. And while in my personal opinion, if Sokai was meant to be endgame, she would have gone along. But of course, just because I have that opinion doesn't mean that the writers won't do something different. I see a lot of Sokai shippers talk about how the writers just don't know how to write romance, and that's why Sokai is so badly handled. That it's obvious that, you know, Sokai are meant to be the endgame romance, but it's just the writers don't know how to write. I personally would like to have a lot more faith in the writers in this, and in my opinion, Sokai being badly handled either means that A, it's not meant to be romantic, or B, perhaps the writers have something else up their sleeve that we just haven't seen yet. So we're gonna get a little creative. I think Sora and Kairi are both characters that have their own things they need to work through. Sora, of course, is dealing with a lot of hurt and pain that he's just shoved aside. He has his own inner darkness that he needs to face. And I think his time in Quadratum, of course, will give him time to really sit down and think about things. Kairi, on the other hand, is a character that, of course, holds a lot of guilt at Sora's disappearance, but she's also a character that has been set up since Kingdom Hearts 1 to be very afraid of change. And in my personal opinion, Kairi's absence during some of the side games that take place after Kingdom Hearts 2 is meant to show how Sora is kind of moving in a different direction from her. This, of course, making her feel very lonely and making her feel like she's left behind. And then, of course, it's in Kingdom Hearts 3 that Sora learns the lesson that it only takes, you know, one moment to, like, reconnect with people.
Sora, you know better than anyone. It only takes a moment to connect with your mates. With your hearties.
Sora learns that it is very important to spend moments with friends, and they are able to tend to this relationship that has been neglected. Of course, before he fades right in front of her. And while I personally have my own interpretations of what this could mean, which I definitely plan to make a video on, I still think they could go in the direction of a Sokai romance if that is truly what is intended. But I think Sora and Kairi need to work through their own personal issues first. Riku, of course, is going to search for Sora in Quadratum, and he will be a big part in helping Sora work through everything. Let's not forget that even if Sokai is a romance in the series, the games are still very heavily focused on Sora and Riku and their friendship. So Riku being the main one to help Sora makes total sense. Kairi, on the other hand, while she's training with Aqua, is able to realize that change is okay, and she also starts to make other friends. I feel like Vin is also a character that she could really relate to, because I feel like both of them have been in that situation of being left behind a lot. Of course, if they are to continue with a Sokai romance, Kairi does eventually go to Quadratum, and she's able to meet up with Sora, and she also helps him in her own way. And then we finally get Destiny Trio fighting together. Again, obviously, I am very much biased to my own interpretation, and I am definitely still on the Soriku endgame train, but I honestly, like, I would be okay with Sokai, so long as the writers make it convincing. In my personal opinion, that time has kind of passed, but that doesn't mean that it isn't possible for them to suddenly make it work. I think that the writers of Kingdom Hearts are a lot better than some people give them credit for, so I definitely feel like if Sokai is intended to be the thing, they'll make it work. So yeah, that's my video. This was honestly just for fun. I honestly just really enjoyed myself, because obviously I am not a Sokai shipper, but looking at Kingdom Hearts and thinking of things they could have changed to hint at a Sokai romance, as well as thinking of ways that they could make it work later on, it was a lot of fun. Obviously, I have my own interpretation, but I had a lot of fun doing this. So comment down below, tell me things you would change in Kingdom Hearts to hint at a Sokai romance, or how you would write it in later if that is truly the intention. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. And if you're not subscribed, but you would like to be, you can hit that subscribe button. I make videos every other week. And don't forget to ring the bell to be notified every single time I make a video. May your heart be your guiding key. And until next time, I will catch you later. Bye, meow.